Sibu,
Mabena.
media queen,
I don't know about all that.
social media superstar,
I can take that one.
storyteller,
Absolutely.
CEO, female founder.
Keep going. Say, give me more. All the praise singing. Bring us.
I'm so happy to have you on the Real Good podcast today, all the way from Jersey.
Yes. 2 flights later.
Are you ready to move here yet?
You see this moving one? Not so sure about it because I feel like the pace in Cape Town's a little too chill for me.
Too slow. Just because we work Monday to Wednesday doesn't mean you have to judge.
Yeah, 9 to 3. What in the half day is this? Exactly. You're lucky if it's 3 o'clock. No, but Cape Town's stunning. Absolutely. Actually, what's stunning is this building.
Oh, thank you.
And all of the crazy stuff you're
We only
doing.
built it Monday to Wednesday, so we put our heart into it.
Clearly it's working. There's a formula that's working. But I would consider moving here when I'm 55 years old.
Little penthouse in Sea Point.
A penthouse. I'd have to sell a liver first.
We'll keep you one.
Yeah,
We'll
but
keep
thank
one.
you. Thank
No,
you so
man.
much for having
It's
me.
such a privilege to have you. You're an inspiration to so many people. Again, like your storytelling ability, your people prowess, just everything about you exudes the confidence and the human that you are, which is an inspiration to all South Africans and all people from across the world. It is awesome to have you.
I appreciate this space.
Thank you. I believe that you had R1 million in a taxi.
Out the gate. Go for the jugular.
And that point you knew you were successful. You're like, this is my definition of success. And you were sitting in a taxi and you had R1 million in your pocket.
In my pocket, because that's what we do. Go around carrying cash. No, it was, it wasn't my money. It was money to service a project for a client. And that whole story really is just to kind of make it make sense to people that the business's money is not your money. I, as Mabena, couldn't afford to buy a car. The business could have bought a car.
Yes.
But I was kind of conscious about the fact that you use what you have to get what you need to do so that you can get what you want.
Yes.
And that time, taking taxis didn't matter to me because it was just a mode of transport.
Yeah.
It wasn't a definition of who I am or, like something that was going to cement my circumstance to say, oh, you're always going to be a commuter. And it was also that I couldn't afford a car in lieu of a place to stay, in lieu of equipment for the business, in lieu of employees and all of that. So it was just a matter of prioritization.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So 17-year-old Sibs, take me back there.
Ooh, I'm 17.
You're at high school?
Yeah.
Tell me about your confidence. Did you have any?
I had plenty. I still do.
You always have.
I've always been a confident child.
Where did that come from?
My parents.
Okay.
They are super confident people. Very expressive. My dad worked in communications. So dad was call it a driver, a model, a hustler, a talent manager at some point, and this is all in the 70s. And then he goes into exile. And in exile, he goes into the camps in Angola to go and kind of establish what was then Umkhonto weSizwe, the army, under the ANC from a freedom movement perspective. And then he's imprisoned for 8 years in Angola, gets out, and then goes to the UK to go and work in the communications office in the UK, kind of telling the story of the ANC and, pushing the freedom message and the agenda. And that was kind of his contribution to the movement. Comes back in 1991 and starts a business, a security company, and names it after me, which is Sibu, and that means we are back.
That is so cool.
Kind of cool.
So cool.
And I was born in October 1991, which is shortly after they returned. And that's now to a dad who comes from being a soldier, an entrepreneur before he left, a communications person, a talent manager person. So there's that background. My mom, on the other hand, was a nurse and then goes into exile, but she goes the education route and gets opportunities to study. She's in a performing group with other African students, and she then ends up in West Germany. From there moves to the UK, studies an MPhil in sociology, I think it was. Kind of telling her master's or her thesis, was on the liberation of women in the context of Africa. And then they get back and she works at government communications. Firstly, works at Shell House for Mandela in his office, then works for government communications. And she was a director of training. So these are two people who are communicators. But then also just as a child, I was encouraged to talk.
Okay.
Speak up. Use your words. What is wrong? Use your words, right? And I was a dancer. I was put into dancing from the age of 5, doing ballet, tap, jazz, contemporary, and then it spun into hip hop. And then my mom put me in an art school where dance was my major. I was a pro arte for 2 years. And then my dad was like, I don't like this arts thing. Go and do something normal. So he put me into another school called Midstream.
Okay.
And at Midstream, I became the deputy head girl.
Amazing.
So grade 11, that's when you get elected. And so this whole talking and expressing and leadership thing has kind of always been there because I come from two people who are exactly that. Talkers, expressionists, and leaders.
And the entrepreneurial thing, I mean, how did that start off? I mean, at 17, I didn't even think I knew what like my lunch looked like, let alone like, did you always feel like you had something in you that you wanted to build something?
Not necessarily build, but I did know I wanted to be influential.
Okay.
I figured
You study politics.
I did, and the studying politics thing came from okay, I'll get to that. Let me start with exposure to entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
When my dad returned to South Africa, his thing was to go into business. BEE was like coming into the fold.
Yeah.
Because that was part of the transformation agenda, and his was to then enter into a partnership with an established security company, and that's how then he becomes a partner in that. From that, he goes and starts his own.
Yeah.
So at some point, I think he had 3,300 security guards under his leadership.
Your name on every car.
And my name. That's funny. Yes. But I would go to work with him and get to, see what an office looks like and get to see people coming in and out. And when there were issues, him calling meetings in the atrium, and I would see stuff like that.
Okay.
And also, when people would ask me, what does my dad do? I say, he goes to meetings. That's the job I knew him to do. He goes to meetings. Only now do I realize that the work we do consists of a lot of interaction.
Yes.
And connecting with people.
Yeah.
So he had the security company. Then he actually owned a gun shop, which is based in Sunnyside.
I don't want to get on his wrong side, man.
No, not the guy. What an incredible person. But my sister ran the gun shop. So now my sister's working for my dad.
Okay.
And another business then she had was a catering company. So I used to go to work with her sometimes. On the other hand, my mom, who worked in a government institution, 9 to 5, 15 leave days a year,
Yeah.
I got to see the formal side of working and being in a building that is occupied by many other strangers, and all of those people are rushing up and down, going to meetings and getting work done, So it's those two exposures that then formulated what work looks like to me, which is 1, being of service, 2, being accountable to people and people above you, 3, working and collaborating with teammates or your peers, and then 4, being a leader on my dad's side and having the stresses and the pressures of taking care of people's livelihoods. So that's how I then became a freelancer, servicing many different people and working for them, and then turning this high-level freelancing operation into a business that is now an agency.
Got you.
I fell into entrepreneurship. I didn't set out to be an entrepreneur.
I think
I'm a creative. Yeah. But I'm a creative first, who just happened to formalize my offering, and now it looks like a business.
So you were dancing and you were doing political studies, and you're this talented girl. How does the freelancing happen? Because that in itself, to me, like the side hustle thing is like an entrepreneurial flair. So I'm keen to understand like the progression from university to starting your freelancing gig. You've obviously had massive inspirations in your parents, clearly, who are like inspirations themselves, storytellers, communicators. How does the freelancing thing happen?
So that actually started as a result of my mom not wanting to give me money to do my hair. I came home one day and she's like, "Oh, please can I have money? I want to go do my hair." She said, "If you don't have money to do your hair, cut your hair." I said, I'm a teenage girl.
You're
I
17.
want to look nice.
Yeah.
I need money to do my hair. And it was a whole thing, like a back and forth about just give me money for my hair, bro. So that sparked in me a desire to have some semblance of independence, to be able to have money that I can make decisions on. So I think I was 16
Okay.
and there were holiday jobs available at the aftercare next door to the school I went to, or I used to go to. And I volunteered there and I found out I could get paid. And I was getting paid 350 Rand a week. Said, "Oh, this feels nice."
17-year-old.
No, I'm a kid, right?
Yeah.
So that's the first job, babysitting. Second was teaching dancing. So as part of the dance studio I was at, as an older dancer, I was then in charge of the younger ones and doing choreography for them. And Eunice Marais was one of the first people to kind of offer payment for me. So she's like, you can't do this for free. I'm going to collect money from the parents and you're going to get paid. We'll figure out how much it is.
Okay.
So she collected 10 Rand per hour per child, but it's 24 kids dancing for 4 hours a day, sometimes 5 days a week. And the first time she came to me with an envelope, we were in Sun City for a competition. She came 4,500 Rand. I said,
You can do your hair 4 times.
me? Yes, 4,500. Now I'm bawling, okay? I'm 16, 17.
Yeah, that's
and
a number.
it's good money. And it just kept happening continuously. And I think I started to appreciate what putting work in and it resulting in money that is yours. So an honest day's work gives you good money and you can spend it any way you want. I loved that
freedom.
That's freedom. That to me is freedom. So that's where the freelancing thing starts, from offering my services in exchange for money. And it was the dancing thing, the babysitting thing. Eventually, I get an opportunity to work for an event company, which was run by a dance crew called Clinch. And they did a dance competition called Masters of Rhythm. Through that, an incredible guy called Jay Kayembe then gives me an opportunity to work with him on a thing he was doing for an event called Street Cred. Now I'm working with brands and doing the dancing thing and connecting them. So from that, we then started an operation called Choreo Creatives, where we kind of formalized street dancing in aid of brand campaigns. And our first big thing was Miller. And we were working on the Kendrick Lamar 3-city tour.
No way.
With that, we're now choreographing and putting to life local performances ahead of Kendrick Lamar. And that was some good money, right? So now I'm freelancing there. But studying. I had to study. Had to, because
Parents.
I have parents who are in charge of my life. And I chose political science and international relations because of the background. My parents come from, I'm in a politically active family. And it was that, okay, if I'm so busy doing all these other things, on a day when I haven't studied for something, what could I possibly get away with just from common knowledge? And that was politics. The answer was politics. So that's how I ended up choosing that route.
Got you.
From a studying perspective. But whilst at school, I'm working. I'm freelancing and hustling. Then I became a bartender at a place called The Sands in Sandton. And that was as a result of moving from school back to live with my dad in Joburg, because my stepmom had passed away and I had a baby sister who was 11 months, and my dad said, hey, yo, come help me, raise this
Life got real.
baby person. Life got real quick. And again, I just wanted the independence to have money. So he allowed me to work in a club, which is quite liberal of him. And I was making really decent money there as well. So it's just all of these different things. I'm a bartender. I'm still doing the choreography thing and consulting and events and this high-level freelancing operation that needs to be formalized. Oh, I was doing voiceovers for F&B.
Hustling, man.
Yeah, training
It's
videos.
not just like a side hustle. This is like a collection of side hustles.
For me, it's I have hands, I have a voice, I have a face, I have legs that can
24
walk.
hours a day.
24 hours a day. How can I utilize as much of what I have to get what I need? And that's when I registered a company in 2014 so that I could start invoicing like a professional. And also just package myself as a little bit different to all the people who weren't thinking of that. So now when it's time to engage with a corporate, they I think are more welcoming of me,
Yeah.
even though I come as one, I
Yeah.
speak of we. Oh, we at
But you've got a voice of thousands.
that's me and my ancestors. Like that's who we is.
Yeah,
But
people are like looking around. It's earlier.
it's me and the gang I walk with. But I had my things in order. A company registration document, a business account, a business banking account, a tax clearance, a BE affidavit. So that when a Paramount, well, what was it called? Viacom at the time, has an opportunity for me to do the thing that I do, which is social media, events, marketing, street teams, and all of that. I'm an actual agency.
Yes.
They don't have to deal with me like a freelancer with this. All the other stuff that comes with that. So it just became easier to utilize my services because I packaged myself as a business.
Yes.
That's how we ended up here.
Duma Collective? Take me through, because it wasn't originally called that.
Yeah.
Like the name was different and there was a progression.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
See, the way you couldn't say the name.
It's the reason why you changed
It's the reason why I changed it.
These stupid clients. I'm sorry.
Just say the name. No, it was, okay. How the name came about was that my surname is Mabena.
Yes.
And we've got clan names.
Yes.
So mine is Mbuduma. That's one of the clan names.
Yes.
And I just found it so interesting. At the time, I was on this self-discovery journey, just getting to know my roots. And just like, wow, Mbuduma, it sounds so powerful. It's going to land. People are going to love this name. And my email address was going to be my surname at myclanname.com, and the website is mbuduma.com. I had this whole brand vision.
Yeah.
My totem is a bull, so like a buffalo, sorry. So it was amazing. A black buffalo on a pink background. I had it all together until one workshop where we'd done a massive campaign for a really big brand. I could speak brands here. Yeah.
Of course.
So it was for Heineken and it was the UEFA Champions League. We just smashed it. KPIs out the roof.
Awesome.
So client wants to celebrate, brings us together. And now we're doing a feedback session. And he's presenting this back to us. And he says, and capacity relations on PR, so amazing. Sonic State on the event experiential, so great. Red Star on media, incredible. And Sibu and her team. I sat there and I said, Sibu and her team? My company is Mbuduma Communications. Come on. But that moment said to me, okay, if my client who is black isn't able to remember this name, how are people going to think of us when they need a solution to a brand problem that they have?
Got you.
And that just stung me. And really challenged me to actually interrogate how am I going to push this mission of making this company a household name. And by household name, it really was that I'm 1 black, 2 female, 3 young, and I'm going around recruiting people to come and build this vision with me. How are they going to explain to their parents where they work, and it's going to land to the parents that, this is a credible place, right? So that was challenge number 1. 2, that challenge was then qualified by how do I reference what I do when I'm trying to explain it to my uncle who lives in Ganyamazane in Nelspruit. And by God's grace, we have television shows or stories like Generations, which was founded on, or the story was written around an agency called Herd Boys. So Peter Wundler's brother, Mfundi Wundler, is the writer of Generations, and Peter Wundler is one of the founders, along Happy Njingila, of Herd Boys. So New Horizons is actually the story of a black-owned advertising agency, right? And when I say to my uncle, I run New Horizons, he gets it. He understands that we are running an agency that markets brands. So fine. New Horizons is a household name. Anybody can catch it. Mbuduma is not. So I need to find something that's going to land. And I don't know, I heard something about Duma being a Russian term. I was just like, well, that's interesting. So I just did some research. It's like, no, man, Duma actually means loud, famous, in Nguni. So then Mbuduma, Duma, that's not too far. We make things famous. Duma, okay, and it's a collective of people. Duma Collective, boom. Did a name search on CIPC. no one has Duma Collective registered, locked it in,
Done.
registered a company, Duma Collective. And that's when we started the process of kind of rebranding and changing all of our admins. So payslips, registering a new domain, getting new email addresses, also speaking to the companies that we were vendors on, and kind of doing that change to say same company or same people, different company. And then just working on building the brand of Duma Collective.
So like, I mean, I love the name. And I love the story and the progression. I just feel like it's like very naturally entrepreneurial as well. Like, and naturally in life, we just like continue to try and make things better all the time and love everything that you guys do. But there's this like founder dilemma that we all have, where in the beginning we are these like confident, loud personalities that preach the gospel of our brands and our stories. And then there's this like transition period where you go from like invoicing a few clients and paying the bills and paying yourself to like hiring and process and moving it from this like small business, medium-sized business into what you've grown, which is again like an incredible thing to see.
Thank you.
And the founder story is not the same sometimes as like the person who also has to then look at finance and HR and all these things that are like separate to what our strengths are, which is confidence and telling the story of our companies. How did you manage that? Like, I want to know, because I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, this is a real good question. So I wasn't, I can't say I knew what I was doing. I didn't. I was just going with the gut and putting one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
I did what looked right. So what looked right was having a budget sheet on Excel, managing the income and expenditure just on an elementary version of an Excel budget sheet. 2, hiring on the need, right?
Okay.
So this demand, the market demands this of us. So let me go find people who can do that.
Okay.
But also there was something that I was doing in communicating on social media, this journey, where I didn't realize I was attracting people to the business, the right type of people who were then interested in what we were doing and wanted to do what we were doing because of why we were doing it. I mean, our first, call it, I hate another word for employee is teammate in my world. I call my people teammates. My first teammate was a girl called Ellen Shabane, who stalked me on Facebook. And then I said, okay, fine. We've got an activation for Mayo in Soweto tomorrow morning. I'm going to get there at 8 o'clock. This is where to find me. She was there 7:30, sent a text. Hi, I'm here. Where are you?
And the tables have turned.
This girl is serious. And she brought a friend.
Awesome.
And we worked, and from there it was just like, we're gonna build this plane whilst it's in the air together. And then the next person came, and the one after that, and the one after that. But there was also a lot of collaboration that was taking place, like, oh, you're good at this, I need that, let's work together.
Okay.
And then after a while it's like, okay, I'm a better business person, but you're a great technician, come and work with me, under me, and then we just continue.
Got you.
So that was the hiring thing. Legal contracts and assessing that kind of stuff. I have a basic command of the English language.
Okay. And not ChatGPT, so you can just like...
Back then, there was none of that, but I could read and say, in perpetuity. That word looks like it's something I should check out. I should probably research that, right?
But at least you read it, man. I didn't read a lot.
I mean, I wanted to understand what we're doing here, because I don't have the benefit of resources to pay people to understand. So just getting to understand that. They're not, but there did come a time where my friend graduated. He's one of my best friends, actually.
Okay.
Graduated from school eventually. And he started a law consultancy. Awesome. And then I was able to just say, hey, dude, can I be your first client, so that you can kind of build a case study on, how you're servicing SMMEs. Paid him a little bit, and I must say it was a little bit. But as the company grew, so did the retainer.
Awesome.
So that helped. And then accounting, I had this incredible guy, Sandy Lingwabi, who really invested his time and sweat equity into helping me build this business. Simply because he was just like, yo, you're a bit of a panzula. This thing's not going to work if you don't have decent books, so I'm going to help you. And eventually we became too small for him because he started like attracting really big clients.
Yeah.
So then I moved on to someone else, and then
Okay.
moved on to someone else.
Yeah.
So those are the basic functions
Okay.
that I was kind of dabbling in until it started getting real serious. And that's where having the money that I didn't spend on buying a car because I was in a taxi instead helped to say, I'm going to start paying for the right skills to help run this business, to a point where I think we were on about 12 teammates.
Okay.
And we were still by and large a serious bazaar shop operation where no profit. Even though in December I'm giving people bonuses. Doesn't matter. There's money in the bank. Here's a bonus. We're going to Chimeli for our Christmas lunch. We're just gonna live large. I actually then got the privilege of employing I would say one of the two game-changing moments in my business was employing Lindiwe Maduna, who was the BUD at VML at a time where we were agency partners to VML. And they graciously, wished her well to come to us and become the GM of the business, because she had 20 years experience in agency or in ad land.
Can't buy that.
You absolutely can't. You can just hoodwink someone into coming to join you and sell her a dream and say, we're going to build this thing together. And she believed me. And now we have. So
Awesome.
I said to her, I need you. I need you to come and help me make this thing an actual operation, because I have no idea how an agency looks, because I've never worked in one. This 7-month stint that I did with Plum Factory, we were building it ourselves, but we don't know what the real agency world looks like. Chase. That was the first thing she did. She said, what? Timesheets are on Excel? You're joking. Brought in Chase. Rate card. My rate was always my client's budget. That was how I was charging.
What's your budget?
No, what's your rate? My rate is your budget. Yes. And I mean, as long as I could afford to do the job and it wasn't a loss-making thing. But Lindiwe came in and brought so much structure,
Awesome.
processes. Say, okay, what is our standard operating procedure for the social media department? How do from brief to reporting? What's everything in between for an event, for PR, etc. Then we got an HR consultancy to come in and to be our always on HR manager. And then at some point we decided, let's just bring HR in-house. But another big thing that happened in the business, I got an advisory board. These two gentlemen who are, I don't know, man. They are like
Superpowers.
Yeah, they're the ultimate. Okay, if I'm the fixer, they are B613. Okay.
No way, man.
Oh, they fix.
I'm scared.
Oh, they fix.
Okay.
And the first thing they did was bring in an in-house finance manager, Senzim Kize, game changer. And I'm saying these people's names at the risk of other people trying to solicit them from us.
I was just going to ask you for
Senzim Kize.
her sell an email number so I can...
No, we promote entrepreneurship. I can share. But she came in and really organized us. She comes from being an administrator at a school. So one thing she's really good at is collecting money.
Yeah.
She was collecting school fees every day.
Most people don't come.
Yeah. So she was able to then just fix us and clean us up and make us look like a really solid business. So between the advisory board, who, by the way, our first meeting, because I framed the notes, they
That's so cool.
Tabiso wrote that I'm Jomo Sono. Right? Like, that's his note that he made there. Because Jomo Sono was the driver, the coach, the team manager,
and he did well.
Physician. He was everything to the team, right? And that's kind of how they saw me and said, okay, that's what we're going to fix first. We're going to try to separate the state and the church and say, the creative must be the creative and the visionary and drive the strategy, but there must be an operational team that's able to make sure that what's supposed to happen happens. The T's are crossed, the I's are dotted. And that's why the product is good, because there's someone focusing on that, and that's me. And that's why the operation is good, because there's someone that's focusing on that, and that's Lindiwe.
That is an incredible lesson for anyone who's in the startup space, who's progressed.
Yeah, but I mean, for a while, you try to do a little bit of everything with the best of your ability. You have to. You can't afford to do anything else. But if you can, try as much as you can to save towards being able to afford things. I mean, with Sis Lindy, that's what I call her. There was a point where she was getting paid more than me because I was so desperate to have her, and her life demands. She had a child in university and 2 in high school, and I said, yo, let me make the sacrifice for the short term, because in the long term I'll be able to see the return. And now we've kind of stabilized to the point where I'm not necessarily getting paid what's market related as far as CEOs are concerned.
For sure.
But
You and me both.
ha! But I see where your money's going. It's going to 18 locations. But with her, it's that she, I think, saw the investment I'm making, and that's what she also believed in. And now it's kind of proven to have been a good decision for her to leave this big established global agency to come and build this bazaar shop into what could become a global agency.
These stories do become the legendary stories.
Absolutely.
Man. I don't know if you started in a garage or wherever it might be, but in the taxi sounds just as good.
I mean, I started in
your home.
Yeah, my father stayed in a 2-bedroom townhouse. And as the family grew, we just didn't move out of there because I was supposed to move out, but I didn't. So, you know that thing of I slept on my father's couch? I thought it was just a white people thing. No, I slept on my father's couch. And the kitchen counter was my office for a very long time.
I love that story.
You know, like the first laptop I had came from my dad. So even though he had Wi-Fi at the house, so that was very helpful. And just being able to operate from, because we lived in Sunninghill, so it's quite central. Taxis are there. The hard train then came up, and a lot of my friends were able to help, you know, with transportation and stuff like that. So the privilege I had wasn't necessarily that, oh, here's a silver spoon in your mouth and you can just get anything. But with the little bit that my dad did have, I was able to plant myself in there, extract, and then grow. And on the other hand, my mom, who was also very frugal with money, but like incredibly good, always had money. There were things may not have been for hair, but sometimes when I did need money, she was able to help
a little bit.
And she paid for what needed to be paid for. I mean, when, like with school, I didn't have to apply for NSFAS. You know, I had that privilege that school was taken care of. I was on a bursary from like my dad's side because of him being a military veteran. So at least the school fees were covered, and my books were covered. Then my accommodation was covered by my mom. Then my entertainment, food, hair, clothes was covered by my working. And all of that together then enabled me to have an environment where I can create, learn how to be good with money, and then build an operation that then kind of reflects all of those lessons.
Where does the fixer come from?
Olivia Pope. You know, and not the Olivia Pope that is doing things with people's husbands, but the
TV show.
Yeah, on Scandal US, you know, that
not the South African one.
No. Shonda Rhimes, the one she wrote. So with that, I just appreciated her approach to challenges, to say it's handled. That was my thing, and that show was popular during a time where I was on my come up, and a couple of people just kind of started saying, oh, you're good at fixing things, and I was like, yeah, actually I am good at fixing things. I fix entertainment problems, I fix marketing problems, and that's how I became the fixer. It started as a joke. I put in my email signature, and then it just stuck, and now I'm the fixer. Actually, Sabelo, who's on our team, he's just like every morning, fixer, how are you? It's like, I like it. So yeah, that's how I am the fixer.
Do you think building a team is more about embracing it as a family or as a sports team?
Both, actually.
You think it's
if you look at, I'm going to use 2 analogies, and I hate that it has to be this person, but the Cosbys.
Yes.
Okay, let's speak about Dr. Huxtable, not Bill Cosby. So the Cosby family, where Dr. and Dr. Huxtable, Claire and the dad, 2 black doctors, right? Established, really smart, really hardworking, but so empathetic, so funny, so caring, so loving on their children, who are all flawed but amazing.
In their own little ways.
In their own ways, and they're just building this unit that is a reflection of what we wish our society could look like.
Yeah.
So for me, that family of being intentional and caring, but also having a direction. That's the thing I'm extracting from the family analogy
Yes.
of what we do at Duma Collective.
Yes.
We are a family in that we care for each other.
Yes.
I mean, we have our integrated group creative head, her daughter Zuzu. When she's in the office, everyone's office is her office. My office is her office. Lindy's office is her office. It's Zuzu's world when Zuzu's there. My nephew, Rifumo, he comes running into the office. He comes, opens cupboards. He's taking people's toys on their desk. It's fine. Everybody loves everybody.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's the family thing. Then from a sports team perspective, it is to say we're only as strong as our weakest link. From a training perspective, if you're not putting in 100% of the effort, then someone else must put in 120%, but you're all getting paid 100% of the money.
Yes.
How does that make sense? Make it make sense. So
Yeah.
it's for people to also acknowledge their responsibility that they bring to the performance of the team.
Yes.
3, you're only as good as your last performance as well.
Yes.
You know, the fact that you won by 1 point last week is not going to be what determines that you're going to win next week.
Yeah.
Springboks, please
Rassi,
win.
I was
this
going to say,
Saturday.
sounds like Rassi.
But
I love it.
It is that he's
Jomo Sono Rassi.
more Rassi, please. But it's that if you don't push people to understand that we're doing this thing together, there's no Siya Kolisi without the rest of the team.
Yes.
There's no Sasha today, actually. Sasha Mngomezulu without the rest of the team. Sasha passed the ball to Cheslin. Cheslin's the one that scored the try.
Yeah, for sure.
But it took everybody doing the job to get it done, right? So the family thing, empathetic, loving, kind, caring.
Gotcha.
The sports thing or the sports team thing is teamwork, accountability, and just a sense of responsibility to each other for us to drive the agenda forward.
What does the future look like to you in 5 years' time?
I actually don't know. You know, I didn't know that Duma Collective would be here 5 years ago. Okay. All I knew was that we're doing our best with what we have.
Got you. Love that.
Because we can hope, we can dream, we can have all the manifestations, but God decides.
Yes.
I didn't know we would have 2 buildings today. I didn't
Incredible
know.
Story.
It really is.
You have to pinch yourself sometime. Or just like...
No, I pinch myself when we've got a waterproofing issue and I'm like, what is happening? Why do we have rates and taxes problems? You know? But I'm so grateful. Okay. I walk in gratitude because I not because of what it does, which is attract more, but because I recognize that this is not of my own doing. My steps are ordered by my higher power, the God that I believe in. I'm covered by my ancestors. I am loved by the people I work with. I am supported by them and their families. You know, my one teammate who's no longer in the business, but she's still just a friend of the brand. She brought her mom to come and see the building, to say, come and see what this company I used to work for has built. And she sent me a video of them praying. And like,
Awesome, man.
That to me is just... People believe in this new horizons that we've built. They actually, what we set out to do intentionally, or the intent behind it, is now manifesting. And I couldn't have given you a timeline that said, oh, in 10 years' time, people are going to believe that we're a real building. Or a real agency. We're on 20 Republic Road in Randburg, one of the busiest streets in Joburg.
Awesome.
And the name Duma Collective is on that building. And people drive past there.
I love that.
And those who know that it took so many people's hard work and efforts to build that. People's perfect bricks have built that perfect wall. And that for me is so important. And I could never have put a timeline on it. So what does the next 5 years look like? More success.
More success.
More.
I feel like there's a generations V2 coming with Duma Collective playing New Horizons.
Yeah, you never know.
No?
I mean,
any TV programs coming?
Fundi wouldn't like it. Just say, hey, but here's a 2.0. But no, look.
Are we thinking Netflix or Amazon Prime? Which one are we thinking?
It could be SABC Plus. hey, the national broadcaster. But you know what? I think what is exciting for me
Yeah.
is that we've proven how opportunity kind of can turn into something really big and good. So whatever opportunities present themselves that make sense to us, we're definitely going to go for them, whether it's expansion, whether it's absorption, whether it's a redirection. I'm not closed or opposed to anything.
Awesome.
It just must make sense to the broader picture of building an oasis for African creativity to flourish.
Awesome. Sibu, Mabena, you are more of an inspiration now than you were 40 minutes ago when we started this conversation. I listen to you and I get inspired.
Oh, thank you.
And I just want you to continue shining your light wherever you go. We speak about that word good and neighbor good, and like carrying that light wherever we go. It doesn't matter what industry it is, and how important that word good is. And I see so much of that in you, in your energy and everything that you are. Thank you for being on our podcast today. Keep inspiring and come and stay with us as much as you can.
Yes.
Cape Town, when we're in Josie, we'll definitely hit you up and hopefully launch a whole bunch of neighborhood locations too.
I'm so happy.
And be part of the collective.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.